change who people are without destroying who they were.
Every time I try to go back in time and help someone, everything just goes wrong.
Oh my God, what did we do?
You can't play God.
The butterfly effect.
Welcome back to the 13th annual Halloween special. I'm having such a good time talking about scary movies with you guys, and also sci-fi drama thrillers that maybe aren't Halloween movies, but I don't care. I love this movie and I want to talk about it. The Butterfly Effect came out in 2004 and stars Ashton Kutcher as Evan Trayborn, who suffers from blackouts during significant events in his life. And as he grows up, he finds a way to remember those lost memories and a supernatural way to alter his life by reading his journal. But I also want to give a big thank you to the sponsor for this video, Clover. Clover is a financial app designed to give people faster, smarter access to their money without the hidden fees or predatory practices that often come with payday loans. With Clover, you can advance up to $250 before payday with no interest, no credit checks, and no late fees. Whether it's for unexpected car repairs, groceries, rent, gas, or even an impromptu night out, Clover helps people bridge the gap until payday and avoid financial stress. Their mission is to give people access to the tools they need to build a healthier financial future, making finance more fair, transparent, and empowering. For me, life can be very hectic, especially lately. I'm a father, I've got kids, and it can be expensive. And so it's been great to have something like Clover, just in case I do need a little bit of money before the paycheck comes in. So do you need a little extra cash? If you do, with Clover, you can get up to $250 with no credit check and no late fees. Just click the link in the description below and let them know I sent you. Thank you so much to Clover for sponsoring this video. He's not only phenomenal in this movie, I actually think he's a phenomenal actor who maybe just hasn't found the right roles or the right films to really showcase how good he is, because he has a lot of things he's got to do in this film. He's got to be funny, he's got to be likable, he has to be scared, he has to feel traumatized by his past. He has to inhabit so many different versions of himself. That's one of my favorite things about the Butterfly Effect for not just Kutcher, but for all of the actors in the film, like Amy Smart or Elden Henson, who both get to perform varied versions of their characters throughout different timelines. As we go further in this video, I am going to talk about spoilers for the Butterfly Effect if you've never seen it. I definitely recommend it. It's a really interesting film. I've never seen a movie like it before. It takes a lot of risks with its sci-fi plot, asking a lot of us as audience members to accept certain things that he can eventually figure out how to do in the recesses of his mind. But if you go along with it, there's a lot to discover here. The film was written and directed by Bress and Mackye Gruber. So sorry if I said your name wrong. And they do a phenomenal job, not just with the script, but behind the camera. There's a lot of really fun things they do, like this mailbox that eventually becomes the real house, or really great transitions like these. These are two filmmakers who are really putting a lot into this story and asking the audience to go on a wild ride and accept some things that maybe some people at the time of its release just weren't ready to accept. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why the Butterfly Effect has become a cult favorite. Of its era, the Butterfly Effect definitely feels revelatory. We've seen many attempts at this in the past, and some have failed and some have been better. But I think Nolan really popularized this, the idea that the human mind could be a battlefield, that time could be warped and changed in all kinds of interesting ways. The Butterfly Effect does feel like it was a first of its kind. They also did an amazing job at casting child actors who are perfect doppelgangers for their adult counterparts. Little Logan Lerman being one of them. And they had a lot of fun in the color grade too, because once he starts to be able to change his past and he realizes that these blackouts he was having were actually times in which his future self inserted himself into his younger body and figured out how to maneuver time. When things get worse for him, the grade gets really desaturated and the color is taken out of it. When things get seemingly really great for him, it's super saturated and very colorful, almost to a fantastical degree. And throughout all these different timelines, each actor is fantastic at embodying that version of themselves. Kutcher makes all of the right choices here. He's super likable and very funny, but I buy him in all of the dramatic scenes. Amy Smart in particular is also very good, and Elden Henson is able to take his character in so many different directions. And this is something that I think a lot of writers oftentimes don't think about, is a way to get their films made is when their characters feel very enticing to actors. If you write great parts for great actors that allow them to show off, so to speak, it's going to be a lot easier for you to cast your movie than if you write kind of boring one-note parts. These are parts that actors can get excited about playing. This film famously has a lot of different alternate endings, and the one the theatrical cut settles on, I enjoy. I think it's pretty good. I actually really like it. I think it's smart. I think it has a lot of emotion to it, and it's that Evan realizes that it's better if he never really became friends with any of his childhood friends, and it's really his involvement with them that led them all down really dark paths in their lives. He finds a way to get back to the kid version of himself and unfriends everybody so that nothing bad ever happens to him. And it's a very interesting, I think, message. The director's cut, the director's cut version of this ending really takes the whole maybe you should never have been born thing to another level. If you ever want to check that one out, it is one of the most dark, depressing endings I've ever seen. And it's really gutsy. I do like the theatrical cut ending. I think the director's cut ending is obviously the one that more than likely studios balked at and were like, are you serious? You can't end a movie like that. That's so sad. And so I like that. I like the idea of having an ending where you're like, no, this is it. And this is that you're sorry, but yeah, this is the ending. I like that. And I'm glad that it exists in some way officially, at least on physical media. The theatrical ending still works for me though. And I like that even that ending is still able to not give Evan everything that he could want. At least he knows that his friends are safe and they did not have tortured lives, even if he can no longer be with the woman he loves. So yeah, not really a Halloween movie and not necessarily a horror movie, but I always try to find at least one film in my Halloween special that feels adjacent to being able to work here. Like I think I did Joyride last year, and that one for me feels like that, where it's like a really great genre thriller, or in this case, thriller, drama, sci-fi, that just works on all different kinds of levels. And I do think this movie is very underappreciated, even though people do like it now and it has a huge following. It took a minute for me to see it, and I wish I hadn't. I wish that I had been an early adopter of this movie, just like I was with Empty Man, you know? This movie feels like that to me, where it was just kind of misunderstood, but so good. If you've never seen it, definitely check it out. So guys, thank you so much for continuing to watch the 13th annual Halloween special. Look forward to more videos very soon. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.